Go ahead and introduce Coach Jack Gregory. I think most of you know Coach Gregory, but and that's the reason why you're in this clinic. But just a couple of highlights. Coach Gregory has been coaching the double wing offense since 1997, and during that time he's won 4 championships and amassed a win-loss record of 127-27. He developed his own youth-friendly variation of the double wing in 2003 based on angle blocking concepts, which we're here to talk about tonight. His system has been run with great success in a number of places, including the U.S., Canada, Mexico, Europe, Japan, and has been seen on several occasions in the National Pop Warner Championships. He has written 3 books, 2 covering the double wing and the other covering his 6-3 defense, which, by the way, we're having clinics for that as well. Throw a little shameless plug in there. He has several DVDs available through Championship Productions. Of course, he's spoken at a number of clinics across the U.S., and he is the founder and creator of the annual Double Wing Symposium. And then I put his website address there, and which has just a wealth of knowledge and PowerPoints and just good information for coaches all the way around. So with that said, Coach, I'm going to pull up your PowerPoint for you and let you go ahead and get started.
Okay.
And it should be coming up, and there you go. So here's Coach Gregory.
Okay, coaches, what I'm going to go over tonight is really how the angle blocking concepts came about and how I use them in my system to kind of give you an idea of what you could do if you decide to run them within your offense. They're not specifically made for the double wing. Angle blocking's been around for a very long time. So this is kind of give you my take on how I use it and kind of where it came from and some of the adjustments and things that we do with it in our offense. So if you've got any questions, just feel free to ask and I'll answer them the best way I can, and hopefully tonight when you walk away from this, you'll have some good ideas on how we utilize the offense, the angle blocking concepts within our offense, and give you guys some good ideas of how you can utilize it. Okay, just a little history. Angle blocking has been around since really since football started, but the concept of it really gained popularity back when Woody Hayes and Earl Bruce were running the offense or really coaching at OSU. They used it for their power and counter schemes, and they called it slam, because basically the play side would slam down on the inside and wash all the defenders that were inside of them away from the point of attack, and so they called it slam. And basically they used it for their power, meaning that their fullback kicked out, and their counter plays, which means their backside guard kicked out. They did not pull the backside tackle when they did this. They basically they either kicked out with the fullback and led through with the backside guard, or they kicked out with the backside guard and led through with the fullback. So it was one or the other. Later on in the 80s and the 90s, track blocking became something that came into fad with zone blocking schemes. Really, Wisconsin was one of the big founders of that, Wisconsin University, along with VMI and a few other colleges that were running zone blocking schemes, whether it was inside or outside zone schemes. They were using track schemes as a complement because they realized that when defenders were using defensive schemes to basically sit on top of the zone schemes, they weren't penetrating, but they had to have some type of gap scheme to counter that. So they used track blocking, and it was basically founded off the slam principles. Now, SAB was something that some coaches came up with to kind of simplify the track blocking scheme. It was basically it used a 30-degree angle, and they ran this track all the way to the opposite sideline. A lot of you probably know who John Carbone is, great coach out of Panama. He brought this up over in the old double wing form back in 2002 or 2003. And at the time, I was going through some issues with some more athletic teams that we were facing in Fort Worth, in the inner city Fort Worth teams. And we were just having some real problems with them using our traditional odd-even schemes that we gotten off the toss book and from Markham.